Thoughts on raw mint leaves? They're awesome. I have to give much credit to raw mint leaves because I was at this party back in Twitchcon last year. I was at a party, and I've never been a party person in real life. I've never been to a club. I used to work at a bar as a bouncer. Never my thing. And honestly, I'm a little judgy when it comes to that. Like, I look at these people and I'll see regulars come in every weekend, and all I'm thinking, it's like, really, this is what you do every single weekend for 7 hours? This is how you end your day? But I mean, I play League, so who am I to judge? So I'm at TwitchCon, and I'm hanging with Solarbacca, and just meeting the... Oh, actually, no, this was the first day. So I was hanging by myself, and I got word through Nesba, who's a streamer that I met during the OnlyFans days. He was like, you know, we're having this big party at this club, like a TwitchCon party, like all the who's who are going to be there, right? I was like, sure, you know, I'll hit that. She was like, you can come, but she did give me an invite. Like, she didn't give me like a physical invite or like an email, right? And I learned quickly that you do need these because they got security. And so I walk up to this place. I see there's a line out the door just to get into this club, and I was like, well, this is where it ends. Like, I don't have any women to bring. I don't have any, like, I can't buy my way in. I'm not cool enough to slip a hundo in the pocket. I don't have a hundo on me. And so I just kind of walk up to the guy, and I'm like, hey, here for the TwitchCon party? He's like, yeah, you a streamer? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, because I had streamed at the time. This was like 4 months ago. Oh, wait, no, it's like almost a year ago, actually. And so I was like, yeah, why not? He's like, okay, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, it's Herold. Like, I don't see you. And it's like, oh yeah, I was invited by Nesba. And he was like, I don't know what that means, man. I don't know streamers. Just talk to this guy. And I was like, fair. He probably has 1,000,001 people coming up to him saying, I know this guy, right? And so I walk up to the other guy, and he's like, you're gonna need a QR code to get in, by the way. And as he does that, Nesba hits me up. I get an email. Oh, by the way, the QR code. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. It happened while I walked up to the guy, and he was like, do you have the QR code? And I was looking at my phone knowing I don't have it, just kind of like, I don't know what I was hoping for, buying for time, I guess. And I was like, yeah, let me look. And then boom, it sent right there. I was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. And I get in, and again, never been in a club, but there's all these lasers, there's like smoke, and there's freaking, it's like 3 layers, and there's a bar on each layer. And who do I meet? None other, because it starts out really small, but I pull up, and who else do I see but this guy? I pull up to the club, and this guy is there in his full regalia, and I didn't know his name, but I walked up to him, and I was like, I've seen you before. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. And my first thought to that was like, all right. So, all right, man, chill on that. And then he was like, I was like, I think I've seen you in like memes. And he's like, yeah, that's like what I do. What? He's like, I like replace memes. And I was so confused. I was like, what are you talking about? That's not what I was saying though, because I was just trying to be nice. And then he's like, no, look. And he shows me like some meme templates. I'm like, oh yes, I have seen you before. Because, you know, he pops up in comments. And I'm like, yeah, I have seen you before. That's great. And we just talked for a while, and I was like, you ever not wear this? You know, what's the deal? And he's like, nope, no one's ever seen me without this except for my very close friends. And I was like, can I? And he's like, why the hell would I do that for you? And I was like, good point. And he was not having it. So I end up just kind of walking around, you know, hey, have a nice day, you know. And he was a nice guy. He was great. But I walk away, and I kill this Veigar easily. Or I get it stolen. That's also true. So I walk away, and I'm just seeing all sorts of people that I was like, holy crap, this is really wonderful. I start seeing, I think TSM Myth was there. I start seeing Knut, NMP Lol, Soda Poppin', Ryan Higa. So there were some other people that I was like, holy shit, look at this, right? And so I go up to Knut. I was like, what's up, man? I've been watching you for this long, you know, it's great. And I realized like everyone's drinking. Everyone's just like having sips of stuff. And I'm pretty tall, but like the taller you are, the lankier your arms are, and the more awkward it looks when you just do this. Hey man, this is what you do. You go, hey man, good to meet you. You shake hands. That feels rude. So I realize none of these people are having this issue. 1, because they're not as tall as me. And 2, they're just drinking. And so I was like, okay, I got a drink. Thing is, I don't drink. I've never been drunk, right? So I go up to the bar, and I look at the guy, and he's pretty swamped, and so I feel pretty bad. Like, the bar is filled with like all these like micro celebrities and some like large celebrities. And I'm like, hey man, hey, excuse me. And he's like, do you have boobs? No? Okay, get out of here. It was just like, if you're a girl, front of the line. It was very funny. He was ignoring all the guys. And so eventually he gets to me, and he's like, well, like, what What you need, man? Can I get a pineapple juice? I love pineapple juice. Truthfully, I would have preferred apple juice, but no one has apple juice. And so I was like, can I get pineapple juice? Because pineapple juice has color to it. And he was like, sure. He gives it to me, and I look at it, and it's like, it's not enough, right? There's a few solid people left, but it's not enough. And so I'm just like, can I get a stalk of mint?
Oh my God.
He's like, yeah, sure, man. Like, okay. And he just gives me like a branch of mint leaves, and I just put it in. And now it looks like a like a drink. I was like LARPing drinking because I wanted to seem cool at this party, right? Which is so cringe. Here's the thing. When you don't drink, there's a lot, you get these conversations where people are like, oh, what are you drinking? Because they can tell that it's not like a drink. And I'm like, oh, just pineapple juice. They're like, oh, you don't drink? And it's like, yes, I don't drink. And they're like, oh, that's great, man. I wish I could do that. That's really, this is probably my last drink. Like, I wish I could do that. It's like, shut up. Don't talk to me. I end up meeting up with Solarbacca. Now, little context of how I got there to TwitchCon. I flew in on Spirit Airlines, which is really bad, right? And I flew in on Spirit Airlines, and I had to do 2 connecting flights because to Tampa to San Diego, you got to stop in Denver. And when I get there, to Denver, I mean, they just say, hey, sorry, the other flight took off already. I was supposed to get there a day before TwitchCon. I got there halfway through the first day of TwitchCon. That sucks. What can you do? It's like 8 o'clock, maybe 10. And I stay there for a while, and I meet up with Solar, and he's like, hey man, there's a party. There's a Riot Games party going on. I'm gonna go to that. And I begged him to invite me to, and he did. The sweetheart he is, he invited me. Took me as his +1. And that's actually where I got the Riot Games exclusive Riftbound card pack and tote bag, which was awesome. So Solar, a real one for that. I end up going to him with to this party, and I see, you know, Ryan Higa, I see Doublelift, I see Pobelter, I see Saikuno, which I had a really weird interaction with because, like, I knew about Saikuno, but if I'm being completely honest, I wanted to go meet him because I knew my sisters watched him. And I wanted to go home and tell my sisters I met Saikuno. And so I go up to him and I was like, hey man, great to meet you, you know? And he's like, oh yeah, you too. And we're at a party. This is a very exclusive party. So I didn't have this idea of like, oh, I'm the fan meeting the creator. It's like, you know, we're peers. That's what I want to admit. I did not admit that because it's like, I don't know what to say to this guy. And so I was like, hey, I really love how, gosh, I took way too long to pause. It was so embarrassing. I was like, I love how you, are so clean. And he was like, what?
Excuse me?
Like, it was a little loud, but I think he did hear me. I think he just didn't understand it. And I was like, yeah, I really like how you like keep it chill. And I'm not kidding. This is literally what he get. You go, okay, thanks. I fucked with the vibe, right? But you know, it was other than that, it was great. I got to meet Ryan Higa. That was really wonderful. He's like one of the GOATs of all time. I was feeling a little lost socially, which is a little rare for me, and I was just trying to find my anchor that was Solarbacca because Azzapp was there and I wanted to meet Azzapp, right? And so I was like, Solar, go sit next to Azzapp so I can sit next to you so I can meet Azzapp, which he ended up doing. But before that, he was talking to these 2 girls, and I'm talking, I just kind of joined the conversation. There's like a bunch of food. It's at like this club, and we're just eating, and they're like, oh, I make this game, blah blah blah, and there's, you know, just some fine folk. And then I'm like, all right, well, hey, it was great meeting you. And I walk away to go talk with Electro and Snowball and them. 20 minutes later, Solarbacca comes up to me. He's like, bro, where'd you go? I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, we were doing a 2-man. And I was like, Solar, I'm in a relationship. And he's like, yeah, so am I. And I was like, I'm loyal to my girlfriend. And he's like, yeah, so am I. What are you talking about? And I was like, what do you think a 2-man is? And he was like, you know, it's like when 2 people are talking to 2 other people. And I was like, no, dude, that's not what that is. It's like you're trying to like hit on them. It's like, oh, but okay, well, either way, you left the conversation. And I was like, yeah, because I was done with the conversation. He's like, but it was still going. And I was like, how do you think they're supposed to end? And he was like, you just keep talking. And I was like, okay, that's insane. And he's like, well, come on. What do you mean, come on? Well, I told them we'd be back. I was like, Solar, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, have you never talked to people in real life? And so we went back and we kept talking. And they're very nice. They're, you know, it's not like they're bad company. And then they're like, hey, we're gonna go to this other party. And they're like, do you guys want to come? Sure, I'm down to check it out. Again, not a party guy, never been to really parties, but the Sondering Emily, she was like, yeah, it's a Pirate Software's party. And at the time, Pirate Software was not in anyone's good graces because the OnlyFans thing had relatively recently happened. I'm not a drama guy. I stopped doing the OnlyFans news when the Pirate Software stuff happened, because at the end of the day, you know, people are people. We all mess up. Whatever. So I'm like, sure, yeah, I'll go check them out. Why not? And it's right down the road. We go to this other rooftop club. Also never seen one of these before. Really cool stuff. We go there and there's no line. And I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe the line's in the building. We get to the rooftop. No one is there except for Pirate Software. And also Doug. Doug was also there. And Pirate Software's mod. So there's 3 people at this rooftop party. And I was like, oh, fuck. It's cringe over here, right? And then I found out it just hasn't started yet. Okay, people haven't gotten there. And so we were let in early. And it was actually really cool because I got to meet Pirate Software outside of, you know, online. And I was just talking to him about like, hey, man, it was fun playing Ragefire Chasms with you in Classic WoW that one time. He's like, oh, yeah, Herold, what's up? And then Solar comes up to me. He's like, hey, man, let's go. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, there's another part we got to go to. And I was like, golly, I was so tired already. Because we're also walking to all these parties. Like, it's a city, right? So you can walk. And so Solar's like, dude, there's another party. And the 2 women we came there with, it was like, oh, yeah, we're going to that party, too. It's a league party. And I was skeptical by that. You know, a league party? That doesn't exactly sound like cool people. I'll tell you that much. Okay. All right. That's, yeah, fair enough. Don't want to hear. That's a mutal move right there. Don't want to hear what he has to say about me. We get to like these beautiful hills of San Diego overlooking the city in this like mini mansion. It's ridiculous. And apparently this is where like 10 league creators are all staying in this Airbnb. And I'm like, golly, this is ridiculous, right? And so we get there and I've never been to a house party like this. Right, like never. I went to college, but it was a community college, okay, so it was not the college experience. So we get there, and the foyer, the front of the house, just filled with shoes. Everyone took their shoes off, which is like, obviously that makes sense. I've just never seen a house filled with so many people that, you know, the foyer would be covered. It was awesome. And then I get there, and people are playing beer pong. There's a keg stand. There's a pool out back that no one's swimming in. Cringe, I know. And I get there, and it's just, you know, there's Electro, and it is just league creators, right? Like, there's no one really too famous here. Like, Solarbacca was the most famous guy here. And there was also Woonon and Snowball, right? And so that was fun. I'm there, mask off, and I'm just hanging with everyone. It's a great time. And eventually, this kind of how social situations work. Like, we form like this circle of talking. We're all just kind of chatting up in a circle, and and there's this girl standing next to me. She's very short, extremely short lady who has a very thick accent. She's a Twitch streamer named Charlene. You've probably seen her before. She makes league videos, and she's standing next to me. I haven't like introduced myself to her. She just is next to me because we're at a party, and I'm barefoot. She's wearing a dress, and I feel my I feel liquid on my foot. I look down. She looks up at me. She is very short. She looks up at me, and she just goes, clearly drunk. I peed. And she just starts giggling. And I'm like, motherfucker, that's disgusting. Fuck. Like, I was just, dude, yeah, it was bad. And so I just kind of like, I think I literally groaned at her. Like, this, oh man, come on. And I go upstairs to the bathroom, and I wash off my feet, and I use like the soap. I'm like, whatever, dude. And then I'm beat. I'm done with this. And I go to Solar. I'm like, hey man, do you want to go? And he's like, yeah, let's bounce. And we take like 45 minutes back. He goes home, and then I'm like, you only live once. I'm only here once. I go back to the Pirate Software party just to see how it's going. It's blown up. Everyone's there now. I guess the other parties died down. I got to meet a bunch of other people. It was really neat. I stayed there for a while and walked home at like 1. I was dead tired. And so I get home, and I open up Twitch when I got home. And I see that lady, she's streaming. This is like 2 days later. And I just found her. She was on my recommended tab, and I thought that was pretty funny. And I was like, hey, you remember when you peed on my foot? And she was like, oh, no, that was water. I was kidding. And to this day, who knows? Could have been, could not have been. I never got confirmation, but I'm willing to believe her because, frankly, I just don't want to think about it. And I hope that's how it ended. But yeah, it was a crazy TwitchCon.